The waterways around Carolina Beach had a festive atmosphere tonight as 18 decorated boats competed in this year's Island of Lights Christmas flotilla. Boats of all sizes wound their way from Snow's Cut to the boat basin, showing off for the judges and drawing applause from crowds on both sides of the Intercoastal Waterway. This year's Best Overall Award went to Toy Story in Carolina. Other winners included Island of Misfit Toys, Snowtorious, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Island Christmas, and Tiki Christmas. Island of Lights volunteers have events scheduled in Carolina and Curie Beaches all through the holiday season, culminating with a New Year's Eve celebration. This year it will be at Curie Beach Oceanfront Park.